Get up! Get up!
Welcome to the third and final chapter of my ambitious effort to cross the wild and wonderful country that is Norway in a completely straight line. Having crossed the reservoir and scaled the dam, I'm now 1 mile into the huge swathe of uninhabited, trackless wilderness that stretches all the way to the finish line, having battled my way through some of the steepest and most treacherous gradients I've ever had to tackle. And while I'm very pleased to have done so without any accidents, my cautiousness has cost me a 28-metre deviation. I'm hoping now though, despite the recent arrival of unwanted rain and the accidental consumption of some rancid beef jerky, that I won't need to leave the line by such a margin for the entire 8 miles that remain. However, if there were 2 obstacles that were going to piss on that bonfire, it would be the 2 that were coming right up. The canyon-like feature of Steep Gradient 5 was in 200 yards, but before that was this. Not on my official list of steep gradients, but clearly horrific, and now nice and slippy.
Okay, come on then. Helmet's going on. Here we go. Oh, it looks like there's a few loose rocks here, but I think I can get up this. I'm going to put the GPS in my pocket and climb my way up this part. Oh. Are we there? A bit to the right, okay. Oh. Yep, this is okay, I think. As long as these rocks don't move. Oh, twig to the eye. Never mind. I'm not going to look down. I'm just going to keep going up. Alright, can I get straight up this bit? I think so. I think I've got it. Oop. Yeah, I think I've got to go up here and then climb up this. How's that? Oh, another twig to the face.
By carefully choosing my route step by step, at each platform using a gully or ledge that wasn't directly above a big drop, I was able to climb all the way to the top of this cliff without feeling too scared at any given point. Furthest deviation, 10 metres.
Proud of that one. That's a good one. Okay, over the hill we go.
Moments later, my next major test.
Next drop. Oh shit, that's big. Steep Gradient 5. Downhill, yeah, say that again. Left 15 meters. So I should have gone down there. That's fine, we can do that. Helmet on. And here we go. It still looks really steep. Let's check it here. That's doable, yeah. There's a little corridor down there. And yeah, we're only about 12 meters off, so that's fantastic.
So, conscious that with each little step I was veering further from the line, I gradually lowered myself down this steep gully and around this rock face, where it soon became clear why I was deviating on this occasion.
Wow, look at that. It's pretty lethal, isn't it?
As I edged my way around this giant cavity in the Earth's crust, I was probably about 20 metres from the line, running almost parallel to it. Any further to the left though, and I risked leaving the platinum zone, which at the time I had to presume would be a first.
Oh my god, have we got to jump that? I think we do.
The drop to the right was big, so facing to the left I bridged the gap with my feet, but quickly realised that my plan to push off and grab onto the grass was risky. So I chucked the Garmin over and retreated.
Stop. Whew. Yeah, I'm going to jump it.
After bottling the jump, I went for a different approach. Testing the strength of the grass on my side, I would bridge over again and pull myself up. If the grass gave way, hopefully my legs would hit the other side. The grass didn't feel super strong, so I shimmied my way around to the right where it looked thicker.
How about that? I think so. Oh. Oh. Oh God. Wicked. Definitely about 20 meters off now. So let's try and hug. Let's hug this cliff.
The deviation was a hefty 24 meters in actual fact. Again, more than my calculations had let on.
It's about as good as I could have done, really, because that cliff up there carries on for a while.
But soon I was back on track and busting open some licorice all sorts, ready to conquer the next, apparently danger-free mile or so.
I think we're past the worst of the ravines. I think there's a couple more later on, but I think those were the worst of them. Spirits are high at the moment. Not expecting something like this, so I'm glad I'm not going in it. But if that's a sign of things to come, then oh dear. And this is the tarn that we're skirting to the left of. Lovely, so peaceful. What I love about exploring places like this, it's yours, you own it. If only for a moment, or an hour, or an evening. I feel like you've almost conquered it. I do anyway, that's how I feel.
That wonderful feeling continued as I made my way across the mystical streams and grassy meadows that would lead me to Steep Gradient 6.
Yeah, we're heading there, so yeah, if it was there I'd be worried, but there doesn't look too bad. It looks doable. Let's get to it. People of Norway, I apologise for my balance. No, for my... Okay, there's clearly some holes here. People of Norway, I apologise if I've trampled over some incredibly rare flowers or herbs. You know, I don't know what I'm looking out for. Hopefully, if I can get people to enjoy the outdoors, then it's worth a few rare flowers going extinct. I think my best bet is to go up there, which might be 5 meters off or so if the line's there. Let's dig into the ground with my other hand, pull ourselves up. That's pretty strong, hopefully. And we're up to this. That's half the battle, I think. Just don't like these rocks. They just don't look very permanent. Can I just go up here using this tree? I think I can. If I get onto there now. Rocks, please stay. There we go. Now, how far have we gone off?
6 meters on that occasion, and about 3 at this tricky ledge a bit further up.
Feet are going to be slipping, but hands are strong enough. There we go.
Next up, Steep Gradient 7.
The last one, Steep Gradient 7, uphill. Let's do it. Oh, do you know what? I'm having a dip. Ooh.
And that was me done. As refreshing a dip as it was, I'd been eaten alive in the process, which serves me right for deviating 2 meters from the line, I suppose. Invigorated, I tackled the imminent Steep Gradient 7, whose wet, intimidating walls forced me 6 meters wide to the sturdy trunk of this birch tree. And in terms of steep gradients, that was it for now. The final descent down the mountain to Hauknes would be pretty steep, but before I could even dream of that, I had 6 more miles of mystical, mushroom-littered wilderness to trek through, and I intended to soak up every moment of it.
This is just... I just love it here. I fucking love it, alright? So mystical. Amazing terrain at the moment. If it keeps up like this, I really will be there in a pretty quick time, which will be, oh, I'm just happy thinking about it. But things could still go wrong.
Things could still go wrong. Not a truer statement was made on this entire trip, but as humble as I thought I was, nothing could have prepared me for what Norway had in store for me next.
Onwards we go. Let's get over this hill, this piney hill now that we've got in front of us. Oh shit, what is this? Only a matter of time, wasn't it? Yep, we're going straight through it. You guessed it. Okay then, fine. Here goes. Shall I just take my boots off? Nah, fuck it. Let's keep the boots on. Here we go. How deep is this gonna be? Goodness me, that is bad. That's really deep. Oh my God. That's impossibly deep. Oh my God. Am I gonna be able to get through this? Because this seems to be never ending. I'm only on the edge.
The reason for this immediately deep mud was that this was in fact a peat bog. Something completely different to the woody, silty lake bed I had encountered the day before, and something I didn't know the dangers of at the time. In fact, it pains me to watch myself wade deeper into its slimy, decomposing sludge, knowing that with each step it would become so much deeper and so much harder to escape its clutches.
Oh, that's so deep now. Yeah, my foot is getting stuck in there. Come on. This is scary. I don't mind as long as it is possible to get out and doesn't swallow me up. But at the moment, it feels like it might. It's taking all my strength to pull my feet out. That's why. It's all the roots and shit. Oh my God. Come on. Come on, mate. I'm kind of in the middle of it now. This is bad. Oh God. Now that's worrying now. Oh, I'm almost at the other side, but that is just porridge. That is as deep as it's been so far.
At this point, I'm about 2 meters from the safety of the grassy bank on the far side, but still sinking further down with each step.
That is awful.
I'm laughing nervously here, but it's after the next step, right about here, that I realise that not only are my feet completely stuck, but that it's no longer air that my thighs are pushing against in a bid to try and free my feet, but just mud. And that's scary.
Shit, I need to put this on my head. Oh God. Oh shit, that's going over there. Oh no.
It was in this moment that I remembered something Bear Grylls had taught me.
Oh, I feel stuck now. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Come on, get out. Get out. Get out. Come on, grab onto the side. I think I'm safe now. Oh. Fuck me. I mean, what can you say about that? I look like a fucking swamp monster. Okay, at one point there, I did think I might get stuck. Lickers. Oh, I'm not going to eat them, am I? Do you know what? Possessions can do one. I'm just glad I'm out of there. I thought I was going to potentially not get out and be pulled under. I need to get to a river. I'm not going through one of them again. No chance, I'm going round.
After removing centuries of peat from my ankles, I said goodbye to the wretched bog.
Fuck you.
And tried my best to concentrate on the task at hand, which was tricky because my already energy-zapped figure was now covered in mud. After a while, the whole thing began to figuratively sink in, and I was able to reflect on what was ultimately a ridiculous situation.
Man, just when you think you're doing great and nothing can stop you, that little seemingly insignificant swamp scares the shit out of you and turns you into a walking swamp monster. And my bag's also wet. Can't think of a worse way to die as well. I'm not saying I was close to that, but cannot think of a just more tragic, avoidable and embarrassing almost way to end it. Okay, on to the woods. Oh Jesus, so much harder now. I would change my trousers, but I've got nothing else in my bag. I envisioned maybe getting wet, didn't envision turning into a walking swamp. Maybe I should have done. At least maybe now the flies will leave me alone. It's taking it out of me now. The wet trousers restrict you, they weigh you down. Makes it so much harder. Boots as well. It's going to be a lot slower moving now to the end, that's for sure. I just hope I don't make a mistake. Long way to go as well, probably halfway between the dam and the end, but at least there's no big drops.
Actually, there was exactly 3.5 miles of wilderness behind me and 5 to go. But at least I was out of the woods and up onto the higher ground again, where I caught my first glimpse of the fjord. Spurred on, me and my mud-caked legs clambered up and over some of the giant boulders and mini crags that littered this awesome ridge, and ever further towards that mountain.
Got to admit though, I am liking this progress, and I guess I'm drying off a bit slowly. The more progress I make, the nearer to the end I get, the higher my spirits will be, so let's just keep going, come on. Oh, fuck!
By the time Mother Nature had offered me a bathtub, the sun was already making its first proper appearance of the trip.
Past the point now of wanting to dip in a river. I'm just gonna let the sun encrust me.
But it seemed she was intent on making sure I remained damp.
Oh no. Looks like we do have another one on the line. Yeah, it's the same kind of shit in the middle, 100%. Except this one, the water is deeper. But look, there's the line. I'm going 3 or 4 meters off at best, so no brainer. Yeah, there it is, look, that shit in the middle. That's the stuff. Yeah, probably 6 or 7 meters. Wisest decision I think I've ever made. Right, moving on.
Not long after that, I was presented with the trickiest climb since Steep Gradient 7. Luckily, having opted for dryness and life at Bog 2, I was able to get myself up it. But how long would it be before Bog 3 appeared on the horizon?
Oh.
About 3 minutes, it turns out.
What's this coming up then? This looks like a big swamp. Oh shit, yeah, that could be tricky. My line is going straight through it, there's no getting round it.
The swamp was wide, far too wide for me to go around. However, as I approached, it seemed the middle section might be doable.
In fact, look, there is a bit of ground here in the middle. Yes, that is really lucky. I mean, it might get worse, but no, I think the worst of it is over there and over there. How's this? Yeah, it's fairly muddy. That looks deep there. But I can step over it, kind of. And I'm bang on line. That's brilliant.
At this point, I was beginning to smell the victory. In fact, such was my eagerness to reach the mountain that with every little hill or bank that approached, I was sure that there would be a glorious sight waiting for me at the top.
I reckon at the crest of this hill, we'll be staring at the foot of the mountain.
But as usual,
not quite.
I'd got it a bit wrong.
This is never ending, man. This journey up to the mountain keeps going on and on and on. Just want to get to it.
In actual fact, the area of land that stood between me and the descent of the mountain on the far side wasn't a constant climb, but in fact a series of ridges and troughs. Little valleys that ran down from the mountain, and whilst free of anything too dangerous, they were densely packed with vegetation which, despite not having any thorns or stings, still slowed me down and somehow managed to inflict a great deal of pain.
Whoa. Rodney Wilson. Is there a precursor to Tourette's? 'Cause I think I may have it. Rodney! This is hard. Oh, my finger bent back. Oh, every part of me just wants to go down there into the nearest road. No, I've got to crack on with this. I figured, forget it.
In my defence, those plants were insanely slippy, but the fact was, I was already exhausted.
I'm going to struggle to get up this mountain.
The stupid pace that I'd been going at was taking its toll on my body. I was gradually getting higher, every now and then catching a glimpse of the crystal blue waters of the fjord, but that only made me want to get there quicker. On a very positive note, I was doing a fantastic job at sticking to the line, and had done since Steep Gradient 5 miles ago. But could I keep that sort of dedication up during what promised to be a penultimate mile of false horizons and failing limbs?
As usual, so hard to walk across or diagonally along a steep gradient that doesn't have a path, because your feet are just constantly being pulled to the side. I reckon up there, that's the top. That's where the descent starts, gotta be. Is this the point at which I start descending? It is. It bloody is. Oh, get in there. By no means am I done yet, of course. But, oh wait. No, not really, Tom, no, it's not. Oh God, this is heartbreaking, but that's the lip there. Come on, let's just get to it.
But of course, the same thing happened at the next one, and the one after that,
Oh, good grief.
and the one after that.
Oh,
By which point I probably wasn't in any fit state to be tackling some of the following obstacles.
gotta be careful out here. It's a long way down. There you go. Oof, that's not a very stable thing to grab onto. Down we go though, down these steps. Is that right? Is that the best thing to do? Yeah, I can grab onto that. Don't come down on top of me, will you? Oh, not now. Got another sludge pot here. I'm not going through it. I'm going to jump from stone to stone. Oh, get in.
A small mountain stream was too good an offer to pass up. And by the time I'd reached this track, the first I'd laid eyes on since the dam, I was in a bad way. Surrounded by buff-looking midges, I sat and consumed a fistful of jelly babies, hoping that they would cure my weak, sickly condition, brought on not by the beef jerky, surprisingly enough, but exhaustion and a lack of proper food and water.
How have you got in there? What kind of strategy are you employing? Come on, let's go. Still feel weak, but surely that sugar would have helped. Maybe it'll kick in a sec. Stomach doesn't feel too great, man. Maybe it's the beef jerky. Hopefully I can get down this mountain safely. That'll be the lip there. And then it's just down, 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 down. What's before that though? Because I'm struggling here.
Well, it would be a gradual but bumpy descent down towards that final ridge, and while I couldn't rush, I also couldn't dawdle in case my condition deteriorated.
Hands are getting a bit cut up from all the grabbing onto shit as well. But if you're wondering why I'm not using my glove, that's why. Ruined. Oh man, we're getting there. We're getting there. As we pass these Norwegian sheep who are scarpering at the sight of a ruined man. Okay, what now? My God. Didn't know I was going down and up again. I thought I was just going down. Rightio. So it's up we go now for one final time. I think the jelly babies have done their job, doing their job. Think I can do it. Let's go. Gorgeous place to camp, that. What a view. Is this the descent now that I've been banging on about for the past 2 hours? Oh my God, it is. Hello. I'll never forget this. The sights, the smells, everything. Oh my God, another footpath. We're on a footpath. Shit. The fact that that's zigzagging and I'm not is slightly worrying.
And I had every right to be worried.
What's it saying here? Oh no. Oh fuck. Yeah, no, I can't do that. Right, I've got to go down here. Where was that then in my plans? Nowhere to be seen.
True, but only because I deleted it. Yep, Noah had actually identified this spot in his calculations, but for some reason I had disregarded it. This would have and should have been known as Steep Gradient 8, but how devastating would it be to the trip?
This is still a bit touch and go here.
3 or 4 meters to the left and the drop was still scary, the other side even worse. My only hope was to blindly descend down this tight gap here and pray that it somehow led down there.
If I can get a bit lower, maybe it's not so scary and maybe it's doable. Yes. Yes. Okay, that's still very scary there. But if I hug tightly to this, still scary, still scary. But now, all of a sudden, not so scary. How about that? Yes. Oh my God, get in. I've only gone about 8 meters off. Oh, it's never over. Do you know, thinking about it, I think Noah did put that on. But that, what a neat little way down. Get in. Come on we go. No more of that, please.
Gladly, I can tell you that there would be nothing quite of that magnitude again.
Can literally see the end now. Can't tell you what a feeling that is.
What followed instead was a dozen or so sizable but just about doable mossy drops that made for an incredibly rapid descent. And perhaps we can put it down to excitement, but slipping, sliding and swinging my way down it all was one of the funnest activities I've done in years.
This is one of my favourite descents ever, probably my favourite descent ever. Hope you're enjoying it, back in the comfort of your own homes, because I'll remember this forever.
150 metres of altitude lower, and the wild, crooked trees I'd become accustomed to slowly made way for the familiar sight of pine, whose spacious habitat invited the faint whooshing of distant traffic up into my ears. but there was still a fair bit of work to do before I'd be able to see it.
Man, this is one big descent. It's not easy. The amount of muscles you have to use to cushion yourself and not roll your ankle is insane.
Before too long though, the first signs of civilization.
Oh, okay. Saw this on Google Earth. It's the strip that they built the pylons for.
Underneath the pylons and the path beyond it, the vegetation was dense and a lot closer to what I might expect to find in my native Birmingham. And very soon, we'd have the houses to boot.
Oh, I can see a building. I'm really close. There's a building right there. I don't know if you can see it. Let's get a little closer. Anyway, we're at the bottom. We've made it down the mountain and through the wilderness. Time for the final chapter of this epic journey.
That final chapter would include the following: 2 properties whose gardens I'd have to run through, followed by the football ground of 5th tier Norwegian football club Agger IL. After that, 4 more properties, a main road and a railway track. But back to the task at hand, and whilst not quite as naughty as running through your average fenced-off garden in Birmingham, this was still cheeky and had potential for confrontations.
They're watching TV inside. Let's go for it. Oh, shit. Okay, number 1 done. That's not too bad. Second one, we've got to go around here. Tight to this wall. They're in as well. Okay, that went well. I don't think they would really care, honestly. But if they did, I'm gone.
Having deviated only 7 metres at that second house, it was onto the football pitch, and to add to the sudden rain, there would be another beautifully predictable spanner in the works.
And there are people on the football pitch. I don't believe it. Maybe I can score a goal. Rain is coming down now. It's going to be a rainy finish, but I don't care.
With a kids' training match just to the right of where I was heading, it was the perfect time to go, but I had a better idea. Waiting for the match to finish, I made my move, with one thing in mind.
Hey kids!
With the coach giving his post-match team talk, I seized my opportunity.
Pass! On the floor. Oh! It's hard in boots. One more. Beckham! Oh! Bye! Damn! I've let England down. Fuck it, bigger fish to fry here. Oh, okay. Small matter of a house to get through here. Let's do it quick. Oh shit, I'm in the stream.
With the pleasant garden of the first house all but done, I took my eye off the ball for a moment, probably still ruining those missed chances, and veered off to the left of this grey house when I should have gone towards a third house on the right.
I've gone off. Fuck. Went off by about 20 meters there. Hopefully it's not 25. Man, that's disappointing, but it's high pressure when you're in those gardens. You're trying to look to see if someone's in. You're not looking at your GPS all the time. And I think I went the wrong way. I think I went left when I should have gone right. But what's even more disappointing is those misses. Maybe I shouldn't have picked such dated footballers' names. But anyway, a railway track now.
After strolling across the GeoGuessr's best friend, the E6, I waited for a gap in the traffic and made my move.
Let's do it. Gotta be quick. Oh, that's quick. Yeah, that's quick. Oh, Jesus. Now we've got to hope there's no train coming. Or cameras. And I think we're all good. Act casual. As long as they're not police cars, I should be all right. Here we go. Hoi. Ah. Oh shit. Oh god. There's people watching, but I don't want to hurt myself. So I'm gonna hang there. Oh my god, we're nearly there. This is it. I can see the sea, it's right there. Oh, what a glorious feeling. One last patch of spindly woodland to go through. Look at that still sea. Oh, soak it in, Tommy. Soak it in. Absolutely bob on line to end with. What a fitting way to end. Here we go. Arriving. Thank you, SatNav. You've been absolutely superb. Look at that for a sight to end this trip on. The smallest waves I've ever seen lapping up against a shore. Yes! Get in. Get in. Slightly salty, not completely salty. That'll do for me. Thank you, Norway. Thank you, everyone. I've finally done it. Just in love with this beautiful country. The smells, the sights, the scenery, the dramatic landscape, and it served me well. Just gutted I missed that shot, man.
Before long, Verity came by to congratulate me.
Yeah. Come on,
And I said a few final words.
Mixed emotions, really. Gutted I missed that shot at the end. Just going for pure power and accuracy. But anyway, no, but I've done a straight line mission. That's probably the main thing. Couldn't have done it without Verity here. Absolutely no way could have done it without Verity. Couldn't have done it without Marius and his kayak, which is hopefully still there. Couldn't have done it without Noah as well. Most of all, thanks to all of you for watching this, for liking, subscribing, which you're going to do now, yeah, and just supporting me throughout all of this, the Patreon supporters. This trip costs a lot of money, and you've paid for it. Couldn't have done it without you. I think that covers it. See you all next time for the next adventure. Ta-ra.
And that's all there is to say, folks, other than missioning my way across Norway was an incredible experience, and one that will stay with me forever. It is gutting that the Platinum Run just eluded me, but barring a clumsy 24-metre deviation at the end there, I can only be proud of the line that I laid down. Do be sure to tune in for the line review video in a couple of weeks, and as usual, all the bonus footage will be available on Patreon for the $1 tier, with a special post-mission video going on the $6 tier. Thanks again, everyone, and I'll see you on my next adventure. Subscribe and stay tuned.